All right, so we've got it installed on the boat. We've been doing some updates. Now we're on the water. Some of you guys may have seen this guy before. E-Square, Mr. Edwin Evers, getting his first look.
Man, I'm just gonna take it. I cannot tell you how excited. I'm like a kid in a candy store. Like, wow, I'm blown away by it. Like, I can see this lay down over here right now to the side of my boat. It's like 10 feet away. I can see the branches on it. We literally just put this in the water. All I got to say is thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, no problem.
Finally. That is so cool. It's amazing, the detail. So I've got a little bit of interference back here. You can see these vertical lines. That's my structure scan from my transom transducer. Now, if I was to put that in stop mode or stop sonar, you'll see this next time when it comes around. I think Jacob's just got it shut off. This is all going to be taken away, that interference in the back. It just picks up that pinging also, is just how accurate that is. But you can see, like right now, we don't have any of that happening. That is so cool, guys. Look at that, it's all gone away. You can see this lay down right here. That looks like a big old fish swimming out there, because that hadn't been there before. That's brand new. Let's see if we pick that up again on this next sweep. Now the trolling motor's just going back around. You can see my boat's kind of moving back and forth, and I'm in really shallow water right here, so you know, it's, I don't know, I'm 4 or 5 feet. This is a 60-foot ring, 45-foot ring, 30-foot ring, a 15-foot ring. And yeah, that was a fish. You can see that fish is gone now. It's not there anymore. Oh, he's moved over to my right a little bit.
You know, this becomes a really amazing tool for you because you can look around your boat. Yeah. You don't have to drive over it. You know, with structure scan, it's a great tool too because you can drive and you can see, but this gives you the ability, if you pull up like towards a point or something, you can just let it scan real quick, say, all right, are there fish sitting in here? Do we have some structure? Do we have some brush piles? What do we want to look at? And so it gives you the ability to pull up, and then you can get in there and you can start fishing. You can use your active target, and you can just like really get dialed in.
It's so simple. Like this morning, obviously this is the very first time I've had anything to do with it. You just put a card in there, updated it. I didn't have to run any wires. I didn't have to put another box. I didn't have to put another transducer on my trolling motor. I had the 3-in-1 on there already, and it's working. I mean, it's like that quick, and I've got 360 on my
Exactly.
boat.
2 simple updates. Update the unit, update the trolling motor so that they know how to talk to one another. So we've been sitting here, we kind of played with it a little bit. You've got your first look at it, but I think really what we need to do now is let's run over here and go look at some really cool structure that we know that's in this lake, because we know we've got some flooded foundations.
Yes.
So let's go look at some foundations real quick, and then I think after that we should probably go try to find some fish.
All right, I'm all about it. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Pretty cool. So just pick it up with it in 360 mode. I guess when I touch trolling motor and it stops.
Right, if you touch any pedal on the trolling motor, it stops your scan because it says, oh, you're taking control of me now. So it's not like you have to reach down to stop something. And then the fact that you can program a button on your foot pedal to start and stop the scan, so you don't have to reach down and do it. So you can do it all with your foot standing up.
Super cool, super cool.
So I say we would get it pulled up and let's
do it. Let's do it.
All right, let's go.
Let's go.
All right. Hey, those are some cool foundations. What do you say we hop up there and look at them on 360?
So while I was over there, I set I programmed my number 2 key to be my scan, so I don't have to bend down to start it. But now I had my trolling motors going, so get it to scanning again.
So you'll notice whenever you hit it, your trolling motor lines up on 12 o'clock when it starts its scan. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah. That is so cool. So I can just see it, you know, the corner of that house is right there.
Right, it starts off and spits.
Corner of another one right over here. Just orientates me with everything. Like, I mean, I know I'm in 60-foot range, 30 feet out there. I can make that cast right there. That is so cool.
And you know, the clarity is really good. So when we looked at this and we set it up, we have a low speed, a medium speed, and a high speed. So we did that so that you've got the options there. So obviously low is going to give you your best clarity. Medium's going to give you really good clarity with a pretty good, oh look at that, with pretty good spin speed. Now, we're going to go ahead and change it to high because we want you to see the clarity is good there. Look at the detail on that one right there. You can see how it just stands up right there.
I guess these are all like where the post of the house was in the middle of the house. That's got to be what those are. Like
that'd be my guess that those are the flooring posts.
Yeah. They're just all perfect.
Just the way
for
they're
the interior,
spaced out.
for the interior walls. Huh. Look at that. See the sidewalk coming off of it right there?
Yep. It's just
and that's
crazy.
in fast. I've
yeah,
got
that's
it
in fast mode. That's
yeah.
I tell you what.
Now look at this. How the steps come down off of that, or maybe it's an outhouse, or
yeah. Let's go ahead and look at the difference. Stop your scan real quick and let's put it in slow mode.
Okay.
Let's go to.
Oh, you said slow.
Yeah.
Slow. Sorry.
That's all right.
I'm not much of a slow guy.
You've never done anything slow in your life. So while it's not super slow, it's not what the fast mode is, but look how much that pops even more on the screen. Look how those posts really show
That's
up.
Incredible. You can count each one of them. Man, the amount of detail right there. That is too cool.
So while it's probably about, I'm just guessing maybe about a 40-second spin or something like that. But so that's what it looks like in slow, and the clarity is just redunculous there.
Redunculous, I like that
Redunculous.
word. I like that word, Jacob.
So, but and then let's go straight from here. Let's go back to fast mode.
Okay, so I'm starting to get off of it a little bit. I'm going to turn back, so when I get in fast mode, we'll be back on it.
So now the scan is fast. You can see it's whipping around there really quick, but again, the clarity is still really there.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, we're sacrificing a little bit of clarity for that speed, but I mean, you can look in that bottom box. You can still see all of those posts.
You know, we got quite a bit of waves out here today.
I was going to say
pretty windy day.
I was going to say
it's going up and down quite a bit, which is, you know, making that wave in that right there.
And it's pushing us. That's another reason why you see the difference in where they are on the sweeps, because
we're going across here a pretty good clip.
But let's face it, tomorrow it's supposed to be colder and breezy. But there's so many foundations in here. I mean, it gives you the ability to look at the different foundations and maybe see if there's some fish hanging out on one of the foundations where they're not hanging out on the other one.
What I love is just being able to orientate yourself, you know, and make a cast down the side of it or down this corner of it. You know, make those casts within the cast to know exactly how something lays out.
And again, it just becomes another tool in your toolbox for the ultimate fishing system here. Even with the high speed, you've got really good resolution on this. And you can also change the color palettes on here so that whatever color works best for you, you have all the same color palettes you do for the side scan. So one thing to point out on the screen too, because you asked this a minute ago, we were talking about what range you were in. So in your bottom right-hand corner, you can see it says it's in 80-foot range. So if you don't remember what range you set it in, it does show up on the screen right there.
Right. Look at that log right there. A couple other logs over here. There's not any foundations right here, but...
Now go ahead and hit the menu button if you would, Edwin.
Okay.
And go to your color palettes.
Okay.
So look there, you've got all the color palettes. So like whichever one you normally use on your side scan that you're used to looking at, you can use that up here on your 360 also.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
So yeah, until it does its complete scan, when you change the scan, it doesn't change everything. It's got to wait until it makes that first scan for everything to kind of change out in color.
You know, I just really see this as a tool when I pull up to something, you know, just to orientate myself to how far away is that stump, how far away is that brush pile. You know, maybe you catch a fish and then you try to get back up there, reorientate yourself with it. It's just one more tool to make that precise cast. And then like this, drifting across a flat, it's gonna be huge. And I'm just blown away that it's so simple. Like we did this in 5 minutes this morning, and you know, it's not gonna cost the consumer anything extra. You know, if they've got a Ghost trolling motor, they can just go get that update online, which is so cool.
Exactly. And the most expensive thing they might have to do is if they've got the HDI nose cone,
just put
they'll have to buy a 3-in-1 nose cone, and I think those retail like right around $350 or something like that. So, you know,
it's about
even
one of the cheapest, newest upgrades that somebody
exactly
could ever have. Yeah.
If you're not already set up with the 3-in-1,
Yep.
it's not a super expensive upgrade. Right. You don't have to spend $1,500 to $3,000 to get all the equipment you need to do it. All right, so one of the questions you had for me earlier was, can this thing just automatically go back to the screen I use when I'm fishing when I get here? So while it can't do that, the awesome thing about these quick access keys is that you can actually program one of your quick access keys.
Over here.
Yep, you can program one of those to go to the screen you use when you fish. So, and you can either do it with a quick press or a long press.
So if I was to go to my settings, go to
quick access keys right there on the right. Boom.
Oops, hit the wrong one, fat fingers.
We'll blame that on the waves.
So I've got mine now as different waypoints as far as the quick ones. So maybe this one's open right here, and we'll go and we'll put that. So which one here do I, oh, I'm at the bottom.
So hit favorite. And then, do you know which screen it is on? Exit out of this real quick. Hit your pages button real quick. So which one of those screens do you use the most on the side there?
Probably this one right here.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 5 down.
Okay. So now go back to
pages.
Pages, settings, quick access keys. I'm gonna hit this one. Go to favorite. Right there.
And then number 5.
Number 5.
And then hit save.
Hit save.
So now from there, if you just press and hold your number 1 button.
All right, I was just looking to see if I had anything around here real quick. Just
doing
a quick assessment of my area. So then I want to go back. Oh, I got a long hold. Hold on a second.
Right, press and hold. There you go.
Cool.
So now you're instantly right at your screen that you're going to use.
I would just hit more options. I'd get that sonar to start going, and I'd be looking out in front of me. Sweet. Sweet. So I've got my contrast kind of turned up. Turn that down a little bit. There we go. Cool.
So let's talk about something really cool the way your boat's set up right now.
Okay.
You can do one thing with the way your boat's set up that not everybody can do, because you have your active target on the right height transducer pole. So you could actually have your 360 screen up while we're just sitting here kind of drifting. You could look at that 360 screen, and then you can look around with your active target since it's on that right height pole. Now you will get a little bit of interference on your screens because of the transducer.
So you're saying I can run both?
Yes.
I could have it up here, so then if I go back and I put it...
You'd want your 360 on this one.
So here comes my 360 right here.
So it's going to continue to scan.
So now I'm scanning.
So the little dashes that we see, that's the interference that you're going to get a little bit of that, but you know, it's not going to mess everything up for you.
That's pretty cool.
So, but you could still...
See, like right there, I've got something coming up right out in front of us at 80 feet, so it should pop up here in the next sweep. See, I had something right over here.
Yep.
Now it's at 70 feet. You can see it right there.
Yep, you can see it start to pop up there. Yep. How cool is that?
Yeah, that's really cool.
You know, and again, when we talk about the ultimate fishing system, it's the ability to use all of this stuff together.
So now I've got this one actually in 100 feet. I wouldn't be running this in 100 feet at this depth because I'm really only 10 feet. I need to adjust that just a little bit. I'd probably have it more like 80 or 60. let's see if I go, there we go. That's probably really how I'd have this set in this depth.
And another reason we talk about depths like that being at 60 feet and things like that, so a lot of times you try to keep your sonar basically in your casting range or just a little bit beyond it.
Look at that wall. Oh no, that's part of a foundation right there.
Yeah, there's some foundation right there.
So that's going to be, if I scan right over there, oh yeah, you can see it. It's right there. Just right out that direction. That's cool. That is so cool. Oh, there's another one over here.
Almost 90 degrees to your...
Can't quite get my ride height doesn't turn that direction. There's one right there. Oh yeah, you can see it right there. Look at it. Right there. You can see both walls of it.
Oh yeah.
That wall and that wall. That's pretty cool. That is so cool. So I could have made a cast, knowing where I was at, I could have made a cast right down that wall, scoot over a little bit, make a cast down that wall, that wall, that wall. That's just going to be a really cool aspect of having this on my boat just as another tool. And,
exactly.
You talked about interference, but there's really not much interference at all.
Really, the only time you started seeing that interference mostly is when you got out there in those further ranges where you weren't picking up as much information from the transducer. So that's kind of where it, wow, look at that foundation right there.
Dead center in the middle of it. That's so cool.
All right, so one of the things we get asked about is what adjustments need to be made on these units. Now there's three major adjustments for most people. For you, there's only two, because I'm pretty sure you're...
When you say major adjustments, it's not like you came in here and programmed this thing to make this. I mean, this is in auto mode. There's no having to adjust sensitivity. You know, I think a lot of people worry that, man, you come and set my units up different than theirs. That's how it comes.
I was going to say,
there.
Everybody always asks me, what do you do on these guys' boats when you set them up? I'm like, I put it in auto.
Turn it on.
Turn it on. Yeah. And you know, that's the funny thing is when you get on social media, everybody's like, I got this. What settings do I need to use? And everybody has their own opinion on what works best. And that's typically what works best for them and the fishing conditions you're in. Now, you guys, you're in so many different fishing conditions. Auto is what I tell everybody. We set you guys up with auto. You get out there, and then if you're on the water and you have to make adjustments, then you might make a bump up or down one or two things, but you don't make any major adjustments.
But to get to your question, like for me, yes, I've got it in fast mode right now.
You're not going to take it out of fast. I know how you fish.
You know, and I like this color palette, but you know, somebody may, you know, want to adjust the color palettes. You know, there's another setting here, you know, to adjust the compass. If your compass is off just a little bit, that's the position adjustment. You know, if you feel like it's off, you got a standing tree out there and it's a little off, you can adjust it right there. You know, other than that, I saw one other one in here that I may use some, and that's that look ahead feature right there, which is kind of cool. But really, I think I'm going to put mine in fast, and I'm good to go.
Exactly. And the major changes, if you change anything, are going to be your speed, your color palette.
You're always going to adjust your range. You know, to whatever depth you're in, you're going to adjust your range, and I do that manually. So
and like I said, those are the three main or major, however you want to call them. Those are pretty much the three adjustments you might make when you're out on the water during the day with this. So again, we like to make it simple.
It's pretty cool right here. You can see there is absolutely nothing that I'd want to throw at right here. We'd have to turn around, go back, get on that foundation.
Exactly. You know, there's a ton of foundations that we're drifting through out here. And you know, that's the awesome thing with this is, you know, when you're looking at this, one of the questions that we have had is, you know, how do I know if I see a fish on it? And I'm like, well, if you're used to seeing fish on your side scan,
it's the same thing.
It's going to be the same thing here. So, you know, if you look at a fish and you know when you see a spot on the screen that's about this size, and all right, that one's probably about a 3 or 4 pounder, it's going to be the exact same on your 360.
Super cool, man. Thank you so much for coming out and putting this on my boat today.
No
I am
problem.
Like beyond excited. Can't wait to use this application. Just another tool, you know, in the whole system you guys have built for us, from the trolling motor to the active target to side imaging 2D. Now we've got 360. I just can't thank you enough. It's really, really phenomenal.
We do it for you guys. We do it for everybody. We do it for ourselves because we love to get out and fish.
I love how simple it is. I mean, it was installed instantly. It's simple to use. You know, I just got a quick access key right there. You know, as soon as I hit my trolling motor, it stops it. You know, I've got now my quick access key here to go back to my other page that I use all the time. I just turn my active target on right there. Now I'm going. Super cool, super simple, super easy. So, man, I appreciate it.
So, you know, we've looked at a lot of really cool structure around here. These foundations are awesome, but I really think we should maybe get out there and do a little fishing.
I got some rods right there. Let's do
Excellent,
it.
let's go.
All right. I better get trolling motor up though.